Wake up the giant, feel it, feel it. You got it all inside. And when you finally see it, feel it now's the time. You start alone and baby, that's okay. You stumble on and then you find your way. You've waited all your life. The future is finally here. Is finally here. Wake up the giant, feel it, feel it. You got it all inside. And when you finally see it, be it now's the time. Wake up the giant, feel it, feel it. You got it all inside. And when you finally see it, be it
Excellent. Okay, welcome everybody. This is our official Gold Rush meeting, and what's really important about tonight is we are definitely going to be connecting, and we're actually going to be learning more about each other. It's going to be fun. It's going to be great. But a lot of times we have to just roll our sleeves up, and it's not about work. It's about making a positive difference with your fellow friends. And it's going to be quite a bit of fun. So what we're going to do is just kind of kick off with a little bit of information, and then mindset. We're going to move forward. So we're in the Gold Rush Wealth Legacy. We're going to continue this even after the Gold Rush. And I'm absolutely stoked because I love meeting with you every Tuesday night and just really expanding our knowledge and getting to know each other more. So with that, we have a couple of mindset things. One thing is believe in yourself. I have a couple of incredible leaders. One thing is certain, that is that the power of belief, the power of thought will move reality in the direction of what we believe and conceive of it. If you really believe you can do something, you can, and that's a fact. Now, this gentleman, I don't know how to say his name properly. However, he is somebody who definitely is a peacemaker. He's helped so much. If you look him up, you're going to be surprised to see all that he has done to help humanity, especially in Ukraine, in Japan. Just an incredible leader. So he can walk the walk. Another leader, I love Denzel Washington. Start your day with prayer. Ask for wisdom. Ask for understanding. Don't aspire to make a living. Aspire to make a difference. And that totally goes with believing in yourself. I think that's very important because the depth of your belief and the strength of your conviction determines the power of your personality. I think it's time to step out of the shadows and really find your true light, really share your true light. I think that's absolutely important with all of us to do that instead of hiding our talents and our traits, to really be the one who rises by lifting others. So I'm going to do a quick little brief over. This was the masterclass that was started. It was done in 2020, and I'm not going to play any of it. But what happened with this masterclass, it was the first time that all the leaders got together, and they got together for the fact of teaching one another. And I did host this. It was right during COVID, and we learned so much. That's when the company, when everything was shut down, our company grew. We tripled the volume just in that. And a lot of it was instrumental to these leaders and to kick it off. And that was Bob Reed. He brought in Wayne Clark. Wayne brought in Brooke Stelly. Richard Hansen, Wayne Hansen co-founder, brought in Bob Reed. And each of them has their take on this, but I have this posted in our Wealth Legacy team meeting Facebook group, but I also have this. I'm going to send you the link, Catherine and Carla, because I think it's important that you listen. Each one, it's about 15-20 minutes for each speaker. They have done an amazing way of presenting real, raw, heartfelt. They have grown their businesses one person at a time, really caring about it. And you'll find out when you really listen to that. So That's what I want to do. Now I'm going to open up the floor for all of us, and we're going to do something different today. And it's going to be really getting to know one another a little bit better. We all work hard. It's time to just relax. But what I did in Owners to Owners today that I do on luncheons on Tuesday, and I'm taking it to Fort Lauderdale on Thursday at noon for businesses. It's called Owners to Owners for Businesses. But what we did today is that we had each person be on stage, meaning in the forefront, and everybody else asked that person a question to get to know them. And so most of our meeting is going to be that today, because I think it's important. And we can talk about the 7K, how'd you get in it? We can talk about personal. Tell us, I've always been curious about this. We can do anything. And it's safe because it's us communicating and going to a deeper level in how each of us think and what we like to do and why. So with that, I'm going to kick it off with my husband, John. He doesn't know he's a guinea pigger. So what we're going to do, we're going to do a round circle. So we're going to always have this same rotation where I'll ask John a question first to kind of give you the idea. And then I'm going to then have Catherine. It's going to be the same order. So after me will be Catherine, then Carla. I'm just going down my circle here. Then Wayne, then Dave, Della, and then Shawn. And it has to be a quick question and a quick answer so we can get through everybody in this hour. But I'm excited. So John is here, front and forward here, and I'm going to ask him the first question. And this is get to know you, John. So John, I know. What was the most important thing that you have done today? See, it's an easy question.
Take care of my animals.
That was easy for him too. See, I made it easy for him. Catherine, your turn. You're on mute. You're zoomed or muted.
There you go. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. John, tell me one of the best things that you love about Christine.
Determination. Positive determination.
All right. You guys are trying to get to know me more, aren't you? Okay, Carla, that was a good one. Carla. You're muted.
Do I ask?
Yeah.
Do I ask John a question?
Yeah,
Is that what I'm supposed to do?
Yeah, we're all going to ask John.
Okay. You like your life better now or when you were, I think you were a professor, correct?
No.
No? Worked at a college though.
Yes.
Okay.
Did you get a question?
No.
Say it again.
Okay, so do you like what you're doing now on your little farm there, or did you like what you did in the past, your past working at the college?
A lot of the work that I did there at the college is for a younger body than mine.
So the answer is?
And so it's just, I've changed with the time, and so has the rest of me. And I can't say that I like one better than the other. It's just that I'm able to do what I do.
That's a good question.
Okay.
Very, very good. Okay, we're going to go to Wayne. Ask John a question. You're muted.
Sorry about that. I started to talk, but it's on mute. Okay. John, what do you think is the most important lesson you've learned as a result of your brain aneurysm?
That life is precious, and there's no guarantees. You can be gone in a minute, in a second, and doesn't matter what you had planned. Doesn't matter who you are. If it's your turn to go, there will be a way provided.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Excellent. Okay, Dave
saying Deo Volente, which is God willing. So tomorrow is not guaranteed, but we can say, God willing, I'm going to be here or there. I'm going to do one thing or another. As far as a question, if I guess what would be one of your favorite memories from your past years? You know, like an activity or something that sticks out in your mind that is a favorite memory that's relevant.
Oh my.
That'd be great.
There's yeah, there's I've had some very, what would you call them, teachable moments when I learned a lot. Are you talking? Gosh, that's kind of a broad thing. I think
Yeah.
all the wonderful experiences I had with friends, hunting, fishing, enjoying the outdoors. I enjoy experiences I had during my working career, being able to tour over a lot of the United States and being able to enjoy activities that I've otherwise would not have had that opportunity to see things I wouldn't have otherwise seen. So to narrow it down, wow. But thanks for making me think.
That's
There
a
you
good
go.
question. Awesome. Very good. Shawn Walker. John's question.
Now, John, I was just listening at some of the questions. You had a brain aneurysm. Is that correct?
Yes.
I know life has changed a lot, but what are you most grateful for now? Because life, they say, is not what happens to us, it's what we do about it. So what are you most grateful for now?
Well, I've known several people that have been through what I have. 50% of us get to survive and 50% don't, according to the statistics. So life is a big one. And what you're allowed to have left after you go through it. I have several little things that I don't have anymore. Memory is very difficult. Sometimes balance is very difficult. I'm instructed to stay away from things like ladders and platforms and don't get up high. I fudge a little bit. I've learned that as long as I'm looking down, I can function. But if I look up, I become totally disoriented. I have no idea what side's up. So I've learned I just don't do that.
And thank you for that. And one thing I want to say, I was speaking to someone today, and they said to me, a win is a win. It doesn't matter whether it's by a point or by a landslide, but a win is a win.
That's true. I'm happy to be here.
Thank you, and thank you for that answer as well.
Excellent. I found my true love after 15 years of being single, and it was 1 year after we were married. He had his brain aneurysm. So, and we had miracles. So we're very grateful. Della O'Donnell, ask John a question.
Okay, John, what is your most enjoyable part of your farm? What do you like to do the very, very best?
Oh, goodness. Probably when the new baby goats are newborn and taking care of their needs, because they're so needy. The way we handle that, they're almost immediately taken away from their mothers, because their mothers go back into the milking circuit. And so because their job is producing milk, not raising babies. So we're left with the job of raising these kids, these baby goats.
Yeah.
And that's probably one of the just
That's awesome.
they're just so darn cute. That's just brings you
Yes, they are.
joy to be there.
When we first started
Yep.
7K, it was spring and baby time, and we keep the babies in the tub about a week before we take them out in a nice warm barn. And so we bought them on the clock, and I didn't want to go out in the barn in the middle of the night. So I'm having team meetings at my house, and they have to use the bathroom. I go, well, that's okay. If you open the shower curtain, you're going to see goats. Don't worry about them.
That's awesome.
That's
That's awesome.
really
Thank
the
you.
best.
Thank you.
Excellent. Okay, John, you did a great job. I'm proud of you. Okay, Catherine, you're on the hot seat now. Question time. So, John, you get to ask her a question.
Oh, gosh.
Okay, I'll ask a question first. You have one ready. So, Catherine, why do you love your horses so much? Your big draft horses?
You know, they're just absolutely gentle giants, and they've taught me a lot. They're just unconditional love. I appreciate their willingness to do what we ask them to do. Their kindness, if you look into their eyes, it's just amazing. I've been riding since before I could walk. And the draft horses are just a special treat because they really truly are. They love people. They, they're just awesome to have around.
That is absolutely awesome.
Well, I'll have my question now. That just triggered something that I wanted to ask. Do you use them for anything other than just show, or your personal pleasure? Do you ride them much? I mean, I know draft horses aren't made for riding; they're made for work.
Yeah,
they're big, strong animals.
We do have a manure spreader, and we do have a rake, and so in the spring, fall, we go over our pastures, and use them for that. Mostly just for pleasure. We'll take them and give the kids around the neighborhood and try to get out at Christmas and do caroling and that kind of stuff for the kids. So they're just pleasure. My husband loves it. It's something he can still, do. And so they've been a blessing in our family. I was going to ask you, is it worth it? But when you said it's a blessing, absolutely, they are. Yeah, they eat a lot, but they're big and they eat a lot. Yes. Yeah, they do. Big factory.
Okay, Wayne Davis, ask Catherine a question.
I guess the question I would like to ask you, Catherine, is how has the 7K business changed your life?
I think the best part of 7K are the people. I have met so many wonderful people with big hearts that really care, that want to see other people succeed. And I think that's one of the things. I've been around lots of good people in my life, but there's a lot of great 7K people. And I really think that most of them have the best interest of everybody in mind. And I haven't felt that in a lot of other organizations and companies that I've been in, but I do feel that with 7K.
Awesome. Okay, Carla, I didn't mean to skip you, but it's your turn. You're muted.
Gosh, it's going to be hard. Something. But oh God, I think. What is the one thing that gets you up every day and gets you going?
I cherish every single day. I get up, first thing I do is I count the blessings. I sit down usually with my husband with a cup of coffee and we talk about things, but I really, really, truly, count my blessings. And where I live, I can look out and, I enjoy the simple things in life, whether it's a sunrise or the birds or my deer or whatever. And it just helps, get that day started off on the right foot. Because, you know, some days are better than others, but there's always good in every day. And so that's really what, you know, and knowing that my family. So
awesome stuff. All right, Dave Gordon, let's ask Catherine a question.
Catherine, how have you found the best way to fit 7K into your life?
I'm I try very hard to balance my life, and it's been very important. I've done many, many different things. And so 7K, when I first came in, it was just to buy gold and silver. I wasn't interested in the comp plan. That wasn't my purpose for getting in. And then, you know, I found that is an important part of 7K, and I want to be able to share. So what I do is, you know, my family comes first. It always has in my life. And then I try to fit it in every single morning when I get up. You know, I go through the 7K, my back office. I go, you know, and look to see what's going on. I post it. And then there are days when maybe I don't do a lot with it, but I do try to be consistent. Every Wednesday we have meetings, you know, that we bring people in face to face here in Billings. So I don't work it probably as hard as some of you are, but that's my choice. That's my life. And I love what I do. It's not a job to me. It's fun and I enjoy it. And I have seen what it can do for other people. So I fit it around, you know, I have certain times, like every morning after, you know, my husband leaves, then I go through and 7K today, and, you know, and then I get ready for my Wednesday meetings. And then I, you know, during the week, depending, I'm pretty busy, but, you know, I do something with it every single day. It may not be a lot, but I do something.
Thank you.
Excellent question. Awesome. Okay, Mr. Shawn Walker. Ask Catherine a question.
I would have to say now that you're busy with the horses and you're busy with 7K, what are you going to do when you become silver or gold in 7K?
Well, I don't, you know, I think I would just keep doing what I'm doing. One thing, like I said before, balance is so important in life. And, you know, we've worked very hard to get where we're at in life, being grandparents and, you know, semi getting to that retirement age. And so I want to enjoy those days, but I do feel that being a leader and is important, but I really focus on other people and not myself. I don't care whether I'm quote unquote silver or, you know, I'm a bronze right now, but the most important thing is to be able to help other people. It's not about me. It's not about my title. So it wouldn't change. I would still be helping other people. And I do that a lot from people not on my team. So that's my focus, is other people and not who or what title I am.
Oh, very well said. I just threw you a curveball because Dave took my question.
Blame Dave. All right, Della O'Donnell. It's your turn.
She's on mute.
Yeah, you're on mute, Della.
Okay.
There you go.
Okay.
Actions first for the
I
next.
have a comment that I want to make. You said something a couple of weeks ago about a tag that you wore with your cards on it. I've done that. I started doing that. I even wear it at home.
Yeah.
So if somebody comes to the house, like that little pin, attached to my shirt. And I gave one of the cards out today, and I want to tell you thank you.
Oh, you're
But my
welcome.
biggest thing is, how do you deal with if somebody just, just is really ornery and no with you? Yeah.
I think the two things that I really focus on are 7K's benefits and then permission from that person, because if you ask their permission, then there's no anger there because you're not intruding on them. So I find when I do that, then they're not angry, they don't feel like they're being sold something, and I've had really good results with the permission part of it. Like, would it be okay that instead of, why would you, it's worked better for me. And I don't get that anger back because I'm asking them permission. And if they say no, I'm okay with that. It's maybe not their thing or the right time for them. And I have to respect that and just go on. I'm okay with the no's.
Yeah, that's what I try to do, is ask permission. And that's awesome. I was just wondering, because I've had a couple of them that just really got, and I asked permission before I said anything, if they mind if I told them a little bit about it. But so I just kind of thought, okay, don't worry about it, let it go.
Awesome question,
Thank
awesome
you.
answer. Yeah. And Della, I'm impressed because you keep at it. You do not quit. And I like that. That's an excellent example. Carla Johnson,
Thanks.
you get to be on the hot seat. Woohoo! I will ask
Okay.
the first question. And then
Okay.
so okay, Carla, how did you get involved with 7K?
I had a phone call from dear Catherine Fiari, and she didn't say much, but I just said, yeah, I'm in, because I knew I had bought gold and silver before. So I knew that was kind of like just to get a coin a month is a good deal, because a lot of people can't afford gold. They think they've got to go out and like $10,000 worth or whatever. So the concept of the company is great, because gosh, I wish, like when I was in my 20s or 30s, somebody would have came along with this idea. I'd be a lot better along right now. But that's how I got in, because I could see the value of it, because I know the dollar, and it's probably, since I've gotten into 7K, it's probably gone down a lot more. So to me, buying gold and silver is a no. It's the best. That I think it's better for. So and for to be able to buy it, like just a little, like one a month if you want, that's just, it's a great idea. It was pretty genius that to people to get a month.
Excellent. I love that. Thank you. John's turn.
Oh, goodness.
Don't look at me. I know you're looking at me.
I
can
know
see
I
in
am. I'm just trying to think of anything that sounds halfway intelligent. Ask this lady about anything about her.
Ask her what shampoo she uses. I mean, just toothpaste. Deodorant. No, don't get that one.
What's your current rank in 7K?
I'm a copper.
You're a copper.
Very
Okay.
good. Congratulations. That's awesome.
And hopefully, before convention, I'll rank up. I'm hoping.
It's all effort. It's just all effort. That's it. Okay, Catherine, your turn to ask a question.
Carla, I know you have a big heart. What is some of your favorite ways of making a difference for other people?
I always try to listen to people and let them know that I care, because and thank you for that compliment. I saw one time a boy said something on Facebook, like he he lost his mom and he didn't feel like living. And I don't know him real well, but I just reached out through Facebook and I said, hey, I said, your mother would not want you to be thinking like this. And, I know you miss her, but I said, believe me, there's a lot of people that love you and there's a God out there that loves you too. And I said, you need to quit thinking like that. And if you continue to think like that, you need to get some professional help, but I just thought, I was really busy that day and I thought, I don't have time to stop and say, but I thought I have to, because if something would have happened to him, I would have felt horrible. So I took that time. And if I see people hurting, I try to reach out and give them a little compliment of encouragement or something, because, I've been there. There's been days when it's like, I don't want to be here anymore. So I know what that's like. So I always I hope that there's people out there that I can, if I can keep them to just have that hope that we all need. And especially now, I'm grateful that the Lord's given me that, where I can, let people know that I do care, that I really do care, because I do love humans. I love people, and I just love them. And I know that's something I had to learn, because it wasn't always like that. People bugged me. I was just like, I don't even want to be around those people. But I had to realize we're all God's creatures, and everybody needs to know they're loved and appreciated, so. Excellent. But thank you, Catherine. That's a great.
Excellent question. We get to know you that much more. Wayne Davis, ask Carla a question.
Yes, Carla, I'd like to know, where have you found your most success? What kind of people, is your market a warm market? Is it a cold market? Where have you found the most success in being able to talk to people and bring them in to 7K?
Mostly just well, I have so many markets, because I do so many things, but I'm so involved. I'm actually probably too involved and too much, but I love people and I love to share. But probably just people maybe that are looking for some extra income, or even just a smart way to save, because if they're putting their $100 a month in the bank, it's not going to do them any good. They might as well get a silver or gold coin for it, because putting it in the bank to save it, and you don't even know if you're going to get it when you put it in the bank, because if they want to come in and take that from you, they can. So we've seen that happen in other countries, and I don't think that it would be too far off thinking that it couldn't happen here. But if you've got your access to your own, in your own possession, or in the possession of the 7K company, no one's going to be able to get access, to your savings. And that's, and we all know probably the paper dollar's going to not be around probably too much longer, but I guess we can always keep hoping. But it looks like if something doesn't change in the administration, that we might all kind of think our gold and silver is going to be a good deal.
Excellent question, Wayne. Dave Bordenkircher.
Well, I was kind of wondering what some of your favorite hobbies are.
Working.
Oh, okay.
I used to I like to paint. I love to do crafts. I love to do ceramics. I used to do so many activities, but now it's like a lot of my, jobs, because I'm a model and talent agent. That takes up a lot of my time. And I do 7K, I do vitamins, I do, other things. And so it's really hard to find a little spare time. And I do like to walk, but not in the snow and the cold like we've got now. So I usually do like to try to do some type of exercise, but it's been hard this winter because we've had kind of a not so good winter here. So, but yeah, I love to do painting and writing, and I used to do all kinds of stuff like that. But now I'm pretty much, maybe that's when I'm older, if the Lord lets me have more time on the earth. So,
Great.
but I have a lot of things I want to so
Great
Thank
question. Great answer. All right. Okay, we have Shawn Walker.
Okay, I got a question. How did it feel when you received your first coin from 7K?
Oh, well, it was pretty exhilarating. I was like, oh, yay, this is fun. So, but what I love too is the coin drops they have, because I was able to get a couple of coins. I went a few times there not getting any, and I was really bummed, for when they drop them, the coin drops. But I got two really good ones that I liked. Well, I got one at the convention, the Panther, which was, I really wanted to get that one. And then my husband, we were lucky enough to get him a wolf, because we have a wolf dog. And so we were really excited that we were able to get the wolf coin. So, yeah.
Very good. Excellent. Excellent. Okay, Della O'Donnell.
Okay, you're awesome. Anyway, I think you've probably already answered this question with everything, but I was just wondering, what is the biggest thing for you with 7K besides the Panther coin?
Well, I like to get the ones about the American history too. I haven't been able to get, I don't think, all of this series of some of them, but I love the ones, and I love the ones Miles designs too, because he's pretty awesome, his designs and stuff. But I love the history, because I think people need to really know what our country, yeah, it has flaws, but it's a great country, and there's never been anyone like it. And I hate to see what's happening right now. It's kind of like I want to cry.
Definitely.
Don't let this country slip away. So I think it's important to know history, and to know history through the coins is an excellent way to keep that history alive. Yes, it's great.
Excellent question, Della. Sure
that way
appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
You bet. Thank you. And thank you, Carla. All right, Mr. Wayne Davis, you're on the hot seat. I get to ask you the first question.
Oh, here we go.
What made you, or what interested in you when you came up to my booth at the chamber about my display with gold and silver with my coins and everything? That's how we met.
Right there, that's how we met. And what intrigued me was you and John's passion for this. And just in talking with you at that short time, I got that you were really passionate and we're committed to this. The other thing was that I had been looking for an opportunity for some time to be able to purchase gold and silver, but it was way beyond my reach. I didn't know how in the world I'd be able to afford it. I didn't want to go to some coin store because I don't like the markups. I don't like having to pay 40 or 50% more than what it's actually worth just to be able to purchase for somebody. And I saw this as an opportunity. That's what excited me is, oh, okay, I can purchase gold and silver, and I can tell others about gold and silver, and I can make some money. So those are some of the things that attracted me. And that and John's good looks, hey, there you go.
There you go. Thanks so much. I appreciate
You're a
it.
handsome guy, John. You're a handsome guy there.
Oh, ask him
You
a
better
question.
be having these ready ahead of time.
Yeah, I should be. I've been sitting here trying to think about it. We've had as many conversations. I've really had a chance to ask him a lot of things about him. But
Just ask again.
yes. Have you had the opportunity to acquire any gold yet?
No, I have not.
I can appreciate that. It's certainly a worthy goal, but it's a difficult one as well. So
Well, one good thing with Sound Money Wallet, you can purchase $10 a month towards gold. It will add up one day. And you'll
Okay.
have, so
Hadn't
everybody
thought,
can do that.
hadn't thought about that.
Yeah.
Good idea.
Yeah, you can do it. Great question, John. Okay, Catherine, your turn. You're muted.
I'll get it. What would be one of the most powerful things that you've learned so far through 7K?
Wow. One of the most powerful things that I have learned is the passion of Roger Ball, and that he really wants to help the ordinary person improve their life. He doesn't need anything. He of other things. And I met with somebody at lunch today, and I shared that idea with him. And the gentleman I was talking to, he was involved in Melaleuca for a while, and he just kind of, the reaction I saw was he kind of poo-pooed it. And I said, I believe the man. I believe Roger. I believe when he says he wants to make life better for people, and that this is a vehicle to do that. I believe the man. And that has become a mantra for me in terms of my own. I offer it to people. I can see how it can improve their life. I know it can improve my life. And that's why I'm handing my business card out from time to time, like today, to the waitress, that was waiting at the table and say, hey, if you'd like to purchase gold, silver, somebody else that would, here's my card. Scan the QR code. Thanks to Dave Bordenkircher. Thank you, Dave. And, learn about my business, because I know that if they took that opportunity to really look at it, it would benefit. And so that's the thing I think I've learned the most.
Awesome.
Excellent questions. Wow, excellent answer. Dave Bordenkircher. You can ask your next door neighbor a question.
Yeah, I was going to ask him, who's his favorite neighbor? No, I'm kidding.
fair question.
It's Daniel Nordstrom. No,
Ah, there you go.
No, he's already a neighbor.
50-50 shot.
I'm teasing.
I guess kind of like I asked earlier, what are some of your favorite hobbies? We haven't had a chance to really get to know some of those things.
Sure. I like to bowl. Oh, by the way, so Monday night, last night, I thought I shared that this morning. I bowled a 198, guys, a 198. Woo! And then I bowled a 143 and a 131. So there you go. But anyway, so my average is 143. So I was pretty excited about that. That's one hobby. I like to write. I'm writing a manuscript called Return to Joy, Your Natural State. When I'm done, I'm through May 26th. I got only 6 more months to write. Actually, I haven't written, but it's typing. It's taking me forever. It's a 365-day inspirational guide based on the idea that we are born in joy and that we can return to joy because that's our natural state. So those are 2 big things for me. What else do I like? I like to travel and sing. I love to sing. I'm a member of Idaho Falls Sounds Choir. You can learn about our choir by going to Facebook. It's Sounds Choir Idaho Falls, and see our videos. We're singing the first Monday night in April at the Civic Center down on Holmes here in Idaho Falls. So I'll be producing there's about 45 of us in the choir. It's the oldest choir in community choir in Idaho Falls. It's been around over 40 years. And I like to sing to my patients. So I am going to treat you tonight with a very short song. This is the song that I sang at my mother's funeral when she passed. It's written by Bill and Gloria Gaither. It's called I Am Loved. And here it goes. I am loved, I can risk loving you, for the one who knows me best loves me most. I am loved, you are loved, won't you please take my hand? We are free to love each other we are loved.
Very good.
Bravo, very good. I love that. Excellent sharing. Carla Johnson, let's ask Wayne a question.
Okay, Wayne, that was very good. Awesome. I might have to have you become one of my singers. Dallas.
Well, I thought about
I-
that. Can I share something real quick? Okay.
Sure.
So I'm a chaplain I'm a hospice
yeah.
chaplain. Okay.
That's
I'm
awesome.
thinking about writing a book. I'd love to do an album or what are called the Singing Chaplain, and
I love it.
intersperse it with stories about patients who were dying and how my music made a difference and how they enjoyed my songs.
I love that. That's awesome. Yeah, I was actually going to ask you. I thought you were a chaplain. I was going to ask you, like, what do you do when people like you're on like go to them, especially now that I know you're a hospice? So what do you say when you first like go in the room? Like, do you try to cheer them up, or do you like that's got to be really hard?
Right. Well, it's kind of like dancing with somebody for the very first time.
Mhm.
I have a kind smile because I'm a kind man, and I smile and introduce myself to them. I read the temperature in the room. The first thing I tell them when I sit down is I look at them and I say, I want you to know you are loved.
That's beautiful.
And that's kind of my lead into the whole thing. And then I usually, if I have the opportunity, share a little bit about my background, how I got into this, and my credentials. I have a Bachelor of Arts degree in religion and philosophy. I studied, I have a Master's of Divinity from Nazarene Theological Seminary and Memphis Theological Seminary. I was a minister for years. I was raised a Methodist. I tell about my spiritual journey. So those things kind of help break the ground. I'm a ordained minister, and that I'm here to provide spiritual care. So that's kind of the lead in to get to where I hope to go.
Awesome. Thank you. That's beautiful.
Excellent. Excellent. Okay, Shawn Walker.
All right, Wayne. I have a question for you. How was it making the transition from the pulpit to the hospice care that you do now?
That's a great question. You've probably heard this before, Shawn. They say you can take the man out of the pulpit, but you can't take the pulpit out of the man. So, in fact, I have two nicknames among my patients and patients' families. One is the singing chaplain, because I sing a song to every one of them before I leave. Different songs, different weeks, depends. And then I have another patient. He was talking to our hospice doctor, and he said, I like that preacher Wayne. So I'm now preacher Wayne. So to some of my patients and to the doctor. I have found that this has been fulfilling because there was a period of time in my life, many years actually, where I wasn't able to be in the ministry. I worked at FedEx for 15 years. I worked for America Online. I worked for Verizon Wireless. I worked for the Chamber of Commerce when I moved here. And to be able to take my experience, it's actually an answer to prayer, Shawn. I'm 70 years old. I don't need another career. And my wife said, you need to find a part-time job. Okay. And she was looking online and she saw this chaplain position and she said, you'd be good in that. So I interviewed and got the job, and I really wanted to be able to use my experiences. My mother passed away in hospice when my grandfather. And so it's kind of Shawn, it's kind of a culmination of things bringing together. I've been on the family side who's grieving, but now I get to be on this side, and I find it to be very fulfilling. The most challenging has been the technology and doing my daily reports. That's really been a challenge. But other than that, it's very fulfilling.
Excellent. Excellent insight. Great question, Shawn. Della O'Donnell. Let's ask Wayne a question. Let me help you unmute, Della.
Oh, let me start. Okay, I just got unmuted.
Yay.
It sounds like you've really, really been blessed with all of this, but what's one thing that stands out most for you?
In regards to my work as a chaplain
Um,
in life in general, or what? I'm sorry.
in life in general, and how 7K has really been enormously grateful, you know, just something that's just fallen into your hands and just being able to go with it.
Oh, I think the singing part, I like I was sharing with Carla earlier, I don't know where this is going to go, and I don't know how marketable it is. I'd like to be able to present it to a wider audience. And I recognize that I don't have show quality voice, you know, I'm not a Michael Bublé or a Tony Bennett or anything like that. But I do think there is something, I kind of think of the chicken soup books as an example, just being able to share inspirational stories. And so being able to sing to my patients, I love to sing. I'm a baritone, and my patients appreciate it, and and I hope I bring the spirit, the Lord's spirit, when I do. So I think that's just kind of fallen into my lap, and I'm grateful for that opportunity. As far as 7K goes, meeting John and Christine was absolutely something that fell into my lap. Showing up that day, and when I heard that they were going to Las Vegas for the last convention and everything, and I could not afford to go, it was one of the greatest disappointments of my life, because I have a vision of what I could become and what this business could mean to me and my family and others. And to not be able to pursue that full time, sometimes it kills me, because I work 30 hours a week, and sometimes I'm up till almost midnight at night doing my reports after my visits during the day. In fact, I just finished my reports at 7:59 tonight. That's why I was a few minutes late getting on. So I think those two things, being able to, this whole chaplain thing, my wife says, she says, I was born for this. And I think that so those things kind of fell into my lap, I think.
Excellent. Oh, I love these questions. I love getting to know
Awesome.
you.
Thank you.
Thank
Sure,
you,
thank
Stella. All right, Dave Borden Kircher, you're in the hot
Thank you.
I get to ask the first question. So I know that you like fishing. What is the biggest catch that you've ever done with your fishing pole?
Well, probably the biggest fish I've ever caught was salmon in Alaska. But probably the biggest moment or time of fishing was near Clear Lake. There's a little place along the highway. We drove, it seemed like forever, in a dirt road when I was a kid. And we hung out back in this little pond area. And every time we troll between these trees, it was like everybody in the boat would have a fish on. And we were all kids. We were all, anywhere from, 8 to 12 years old, something like that. And so that was probably the most exciting time of fishing that I've ever had. But without a doubt, the king salmon in Alaska is the biggest fish I've ever actually caught.
Congratulations. That is fun. Awesome. John.
And by the way, actually ripped it open, had the heart out of the fish in my hand, still beating, and we ate some of the meat right out of the fish right on the boat.
Oh my gosh, I didn't know you could do that. Is that an Eskimo way? Is that an Eskimo way?
Well, it's sushi.
Oh, sushi. Oh.
As long as it's saltwater fish. You can't do that with freshwater fish, but
Wow. Oh
saltwater fish you can.
And how cool your time.
Yes, thank you, Dave. Everybody enjoys a good fishing story. I won't say fish story. I'll say fishing story. So it doesn't sound so hoaxy. But other than that, I enjoy fishing too. I've ever since I was just a boy, spent time fishing. Anyway, what are hobbies, things you like to do in life besides fish?
I've got so many. I don't have any one passion. I like to enjoy being with people, and I love helping people. whether it's doing projects or helping to learn or building a team, or that's what I enjoy. I really enjoy interacting with people. I do like to please my wife with projects. I've got a few adding up on the list that I need to get to and start checking off some boxes, but you know, I like to do a little bit of construction type work, light construction. As far as fun, you know, fishing, I'm not a big hunter, but I enjoy getting out with my son or somebody else and just going and enjoying the hunt. Like this past season, I found out one of my good friends from California lives in Twin Falls, and he was going to be hunting right up here near us. And so we decided to go hunt together, and it was a blast to really help facilitate his hunt as much as try to hunt for myself. He was doing elk and I was doing deer. And so, you know, he did what he could to help me, and I did what I could to help him, and it was a blast. We had a really good time. We didn't get anything, but we had a good time.
That's good.
Those are awesome. Good to know that, Catherine.
Hey, Dave, you know, we've always heard the saying, people say it to me all the time, we'll see you at the top. We'll see you at the top of the mountain. So what is your top of the mountain?
Wow, that's a good question. I would really relish having a point in my life before too long that I felt like I have enough. And I'm careful with that because I don't ever want to have so much that I don't need God. I want to have enough that I can honor him, and I can do it without any concern of making sure that I'm meeting my own needs. And that to me would be the pinnacle, is to be sharing with others without any reservation, just being able to you know, whether it's a mission and going and doing things for people or whatever, is to be in that moment where I don't have to be guarding about my time or, you know, worried about, you know, how I'm paying for things, or, you know, just be able to say, you know what, today's the day I'm going to go wherever and just do things for people without any concern.
It's awesome.
That is awesome. Excellent question, Catherine. Okay, Michael Johnson.
Okay. Oh gosh, let me think. Okay, besides your hobbies that you have and things that you like to do, are there things that you do with your job that you like, or is it just things that you like to do? Like, what do you do? I don't really know what you do besides 7K and your fishing stuff. So if you just want to let me know, like, what you do, like what your job description is and how you got into it and how you like it.
So right now I don't have a traditional job. I trade the stock market. You see me looking away to the right here. I've been working on charting stocks and stocks to prepare for the stock market and see where the trends are taking me over this next few days. We've had a change in direction, and it's getting some momentum. So I want to be kind of prepared to take advantage of that. And that I really enjoy that. I may end up having to take a full-time job because I'm not creating the revenue that I really need to live day to day. I'd love to think that I could kick 7K into gear and have a paycheck over the next couple of weeks, but I just don't think that's realistic. So I may have to go ahead and succumb back to the 40-hour work week grind again, and until I can get 7K moving and have a little better success with the trading.
Excellent.
Thanks.
Excellent questions. I love it. Shawn.
Dave, since you're a big fisherman, Where
How
is
about
some
that?
where is somewhere that you would love to go fishing? Just
Well, one place that I've already been and I want to do it more is my son lives in Alaska. And so a year ago, September, I flew into Ted Stevens Airport. My son came and got me in his Super Cub. And over the next few days, we did a bunch of flying. But one of those days, we spent a couple hours out and landed in the middle of the woods, hiked into this creek and fished this little creek in the middle of nowhere where nobody goes on a regular basis. And it was just epic. I'd like to do more like that. I've never done saltwater fishing to speak of, sport fishing like marlin or blue, what's a redfish or anything like that. I'd like to try that. Smaller boat stuff. I don't want to be not big on the idea of being way offshore or anything like that, but more sport fish, just offshore or bay fishing, things like that. I'd like to try more of those kinds of things.
Well, that's it. We all got to pack our fishing poles and get out and do something because too much winter here. Della O'Donnell, ask Dave a question.
Okay, your main hobby is fishing.
I don't know about that.
Well, anyway, have you caught more fish with 7K than you have out there in the waters?
To be fair with that, no, I have yet to really get my line wet with 7K
Okay.
to speak.
You're
I'm
getting
still
tricky, Della.
I'm still organizing my tackle box. Probably overthinking it, quite frankly.
Yeah, that happens. Overthinking.
I love it.
Thank
That's
you.
good then, Della. I'm getting to figure
Way
you
to put me
out,
on the
girl.
spot.
Good one. All right, Mr. Shawn Walker, it's your time to shine. Okay, I get to ask the first question. Why?
I didn't get to ask Dave a question.
Oh, you
Yeah.
didn't? Oh, I didn't mean to skip over. Okay, that's right. We got to get him back. Get your neighbor
Okay,
back.
okay, well, we already know who Dave's favorite neighbor is, so I don't have to go into that at all. But no.
Yes,
The-
Keith's a good guy.
Yeah, there you go. Very funny, very funny. So today the stock market fell over 600 points. There is concern that it may fall even farther. We have what's going on in Ukraine and Russia and these things like this. So my question is, do you see from your vantage point, do you see people pulling their money and putting it into silver and gold? And if so, do you think that's an opportunity for you? The 7K.
Yes, and yes. Nobody really knows, and I think that the market is heavily manipulated, unfortunately. But there's going to come a point where there's going to be something that happens that is going to send us back into a panic similar to 9/11. And at that point, yes, people are going to be running for the hills. And it could happen with less impetus sooner. But to your point, that's one of the biggest reasons why I want to be affiliated with 7K, is because I do agree that there's a number of reasons why our fiat currency is weakening. The government's, just brutalizing the fiat currency. The world is moving off the gold standard and moving to, or not the gold standard, but the US dollar, moving off the US dollar as being the world currency. That's going to cause more US dollars to flood back into our market, which is going to further dilute our market, making gold and silver even more valuable. And right now, gold and silver is at a pivot point.
it could continue to drop for a little bit. So I'm kind of holding back on investing in some ways. I'm still buying a little bit here and there, but there's going to be a pivot point where it's going to be imperative to be in, and I have to say that it's probably better to be in sooner than later, because trying to predict that point, that pin drop, that last straw, whatever it is that all of a sudden sends it moving up radically, is unknown. We don't know the time or the place when that's going to happen. And so, that's why I'm involved in this now.
Okay, thank you.
Good question. I didn't mean to skip you at all. You're Mr. Important. Okay, so it's Shawn Walker's time to shine. So I'm going to re-ask my question. Shawn, why do you care so much about helping the youth?
Thank you for that question, Christine. Well, growing up, I didn't have a father in my life. I was raised by my grandparents and my mom. My mom had me when she was 15 years old. I had my first kid when I was 15 years old. And I wanted to break the cycle with youth today. I think information is knowledge, and knowledge is power. And the more informed that they are, aware of certain life skills, I believe that we could make that change. And I enjoy doing what I do, speaking to these youngsters. I like to call them youngsters because they call me old head, and an old head is an older guy. I'm like Mr. Miyagi to the youth. They look to me for a lot of wisdom, but that is just my why and why I do it. And I made a lot of mistakes when I was young, and I wanted to break that cycle and help these young kids to become aware, get enriched, because they are going to inherit the society, and they are the ones that we look to as the future leaders. And helping them through communication really empowers them, because now they're able to express themselves in a way like never before. Thank you.
Oh, I love that. Excellent. Thank you. John.
Shawn, do you like to hunt, fish, bowl? What do you do when you're not serving others?
Well, I used to be a big football fan. I often played the game of football. I really, really enjoyed football. In fact, a majority of my life, I was watching a lot of football. So I would have to say football, and I also like fishing. So I'm like Dave as well. I consider myself a fisherman of men now, later in my life, but I love fishing. I like to be on the bank. I like to go out on the boat. I like to go down to the Keys, because the Keys, they have the best game fishing there, but also not just game fishing. You could catch some snappers, the regular fish right there, but the fish is fresh, and it's one of the best place you would ever want to just go for relaxation, fishing, and just having fun. I seen something, John, that blown me away, is that people would take their chairs. The water is so shallow that you can actually put a table and chairs in the water and just eat with your family right there. So they picnic right in the water. So I really love the Keys when I go down. So fishing and picnicking in the water is why I love the Keys, but fishing and football is what I do.
Thank you.
Excellent question. Excellent answer. It's awesome. Okay. So we have Catherine.
Okay, Shawn, I have to say, I really appreciate your heart, and especially for helping youth. It's so important today, and I know they really appreciate everything that you do. But if you could travel any place in the world, where would you choose to go, and what would you do?
Thank you for that question. I am so excited for that question because I was just asked that question earlier, and I found out a destination where someone said to put would be a great destination for me after they heard my story. It will have to be Ireland now. And Ireland is somewhere where they have a lot of different spas. It's a small place. I'm starting to research Ireland because I want to know a little bit more about it before I make it a destination. But this is somewhere that someone suggested I go. I told them Cancun, Mexico. And they said, no, you don't want to go there. That's not I mean, you do, but for you, Ireland would be great. It would be a great experience. So I would have to say Ireland.
Awesome. It's great.
I wouldn't have suspected Ireland. I'm proud of you. What a great step. Okay. Carla Johnson.
You're muted, Carla.
There, I was trying to unmute myself. I know. I was trying to get it off of there. So, what part of the country do you live in, Ed? What part of the country? Are you in Florida?
I'm in Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
Okay. What has been like your greatest reward for working with the youth, and what is the youth you work with through a ministry, or is it just through a job, or is it through like a church or religious affiliation?
Well, I am faith-based, Carla. However,
okay.
It's a 501c3 that I formulated. And this is an amazing program where I teach the youth 10 life skill principles. And during this training, I have them do an exercise after we do the curriculum. They have to do an activity, and that activity is geared toward them learning how to be communicators. So far as learning body language, learning how to make eye contact, how to minimize using crutch words. Another thing would be just developing self-confidence, because youth today often struggle with self-confidence. And when they have the confidence, they can express themselves. And this is something I encourage them to do. And when you have confidence, they already don't have the fear factor. But when you equate confidence with the fear factor, because life is self-discovery, you have to find your way. And you find your way by expressing yourself. Like I tell the youth, communication is not just solely based off words. Formal expression is how we dress, how we look. So far as the music you listen to, a lot of expression is verbal and it's nonverbal. And everybody's not a verbal communicator, and everybody's not a nonverbal communicator. But you can express yourself and be heard through communication. So that's why I put communication at the forefront. We all do it in some shape, form, or fashion. And that's a little bit about that.
Excellent question. Excellent response. Dave Bardenkercher.
For my friend Shawn, Hmm. How would you say 7K fits into your overall ministry and lifestyle? How does that all play together for you?
Well, when I first was speaking with Christine about 7K, it's about helping people. I really can say life is not about self. And when we lose ourselves, we can see the greater rewards. This is something that I'm still learning about. However, that everyone has resources. And one of the best things to do is to know where to channel that resource, where you can get the most value out of your resources. And finances is a resource that we have. And like you guys see now that the finance institution is tumbling 600 points. That's a lot of points for the stock market. So now we have to look at like what do I do with my resources? So if I could buy a coin and that coin could double or triple in value at a later time, better than my money just sitting in the bank getting what, a point interest off of it.
Maybe.
So I want to educate individuals about making better decisions in the finance, because financial literacy, if I could do this now with adults, just imagine what I could do with youth as well, and them coming up with the financial literacy that the schools are not offering these kids.
Good
Excellent.
point.
Excellent insight.
Good point.
Thank you for both of you. Wayne.
Shawn, I'm sure in your ministry and in your working with youth, you've probably had some funny things that have happened or you've said or done. So what's the funniest story you could tell us about you and your ministry?
Well, my ministry is a moment with Shawn. Funny. I have so many stories. So many stories. In fact, I had an encounter. I do a drive around with people in the car and I interview them in the car. And we have a discussion and I speak with them in regards to saying something that they could leave on my platform as a contribution to society. Because if we all contribute to society, then we can all change the world. Now, I had one individual, this guy was drinking, and he had a lot to say, but what came up, he got sick, right, Wayne? He got sick in my car, and he decided to not vomit in my car, but he wanted to vomit outside the car. And he did. And the funny part about that was he tried to wash the vomit off of my car with his arm. And I was like, why would you do that instead of just saying to me to pull over and allow you to just vomit? And it's not really funny because, you just say it goes back to communication, Wayne. When you ask, you wouldn't believe how people are afraid to ask you something But I thought it was hilarious that he didn't vomit in the car, but he vomited outside the car, and he decided to wash my car with his vomit. That was like
You could use that in a movie. That's hilarious.
it was funny because we were riding down the highway and he's washing my car with his vomit down the side of my car.
Oh.
So other than that, I have interesting moments with people, but I try to, Wayne, really like get people to open up, because people are really like going through a lot, and they're just going through a lot. And sometimes just saying, hello, how you doing, can make someone day. So I try to make their day. And when I see that smile, it just ignites me. And it's like what you said too. It was like you said, you live in joy, but I like to get people to rejoice, to get that taste again. And when they get that taste again, I know I done my job, Wayne.
That's awesome. Excellent questions, Della O'Donnell.
Come on, Della.
Come on down. I'll push her down.
You're muted.
Okay. First off, let's see. Yeah. Okay. First off, I just want to say, I think you're totally amazing and awesome, Shawn, for all that you're doing for the youth, because they need so many people out there helping them. And it's just amazing what you do. And the only question I can think of is, how do you do it all with that and 7K and everything?
I think I will have to balance. I try to do things that are moving in the right direction. If it's not moving in a direction where it's helping people, then I try not to do that. It has to fit the direction that I'm going. If it doesn't fit the direction that I'm going, then I would just have to decline it, because 7K, and with what I do, 7K is like financial literacy, motivating people. That goes hand in hand. So either way, it's a win. One hand, encouraging people. The second side of that coin would be encouraging people to become better. And I think if we're financially free, we can have a better life for ourselves.
Excellent. Excellent. Okay.
Yes.
I appreciate it. You
That's
guys,
awesome.
we have run a little bit over, but we have one more person. She has been the most patient to be last to comment on everybody. So we're putting you in the front as the most important person right now, Della O'Donnell. And we sure appreciate it. So it's your turn. And after this, I'll tell you, Shawn, it's almost 11:30 his time. I cannot say enough. We won't be doing this every week. This is the only time I felt it was important to get to know each other. So Della, my question for you, why do you keep trying so much? What is it in you that drives you?
Oh, criminy, all kinds of things. Just losing both of my parents before I was 12, and my grandparents adopting my sisters and I so the state wouldn't put us in an orphanage. And we just grew up tight and loving and caring and trying to help each other out with everything. And we just didn't give up. Grandma never gave up. She just kept on going. She was singing all the time, no matter what she was doing. She was singing all kinds of church hymns and everything. She was just always doing something and going and keeping things going the way she felt that it should be. And we had a good life, you know, and my marriage to my high school sweetheart, we had 2 awesome kids and we got 4 grandchildren, but it ended after too many years of abuse from alcoholism. So, and I couldn't give up, but I ended up giving up and getting divorced because I couldn't deal with that, you know. And that's the only time I think I've really ever given up, because I just keep on going, just like Grandma did. And my aunt, my mother's sister, Grandma's daughter, she was my super neat lady. And it was just, you know, I had some good, excellent role models that were there for me when I needed them.
That is excellent.
And
You are awesome.
I just wasn't taught to give up. Just keep on going.
Well, you definitely do, and you lead by example. I appreciate it. John, do you have a question for Della?
Yes, Stella, where are you from and how did you end up in Idaho Falls?
I was born in St. Anthony, grew up in Arco after we moved there, and then our mother died when we were there, and our father had died before, a couple of years before, and we just, you know, my mother's parents took us in, and my little brother and my sisters and I, and so finished up high school, grade school, high school in Arco, Idaho. Yay, pirates. Yeah. Anyway, when Wayne and I got married, we lived in Utah, California, Arizona, Washington. He was with F.W. Woolworth stores and we traveled around. They transferred him a lot. And then during the financial problems in the 1980s, we were in California, and then we ended up coming back to Idaho because California was just falling apart financially and everything. So we just came back to Idaho, and we both got jobs out at the site, and both of our kids graduated from high school, and they both got married, and then their dad went his way, and I stayed here and came back here to Idaho Falls and stayed because I got a lot of family and friends around. And I also have a lot of job opportunities because I worked at the site, and then I worked at iTech for a while, and then I sold Avon for a while. But my most awesome job was taking care of people that were at home and couldn't go out or anything, just being somebody that they could just rely on to be there with them and help them out till they weren't here any longer and be with them through all of it. That was totally awesome. That was my best job.
Excellent. We love
So
it.
I just decided to stay in Idaho Falls.
There you go. We are glad you're here. All right, so let's have Catherine.
Thanks.
Hey, Della, I'm really, really excited to have you on this journey with all of us here with 7K. I think you're really, really going to enjoy it. And what is one of your 7K goals?
I want to get to where I can have 2 people on each side and get them to where they've got somebody, and then they can help them get going to where they can get 2 on each side and get going. And I'd love to get my sister and her husband. They've been sick, so they haven't done anything, but because they have some medical issues, and I just want to make sure they got everything they need to take care of themselves. And because they don't, their life isn't all that easy right now with everything. And and she's 8 years younger than me, and she has, let's see, I can't remember how many grandkids, but she's got 17 great grandkids and 1 great grandbaby. and I only have 4 grandkids. So I just want to be able to be there to help her out and help the rest of my family and friends out.
Awesome.
Just, give them whatever I can.
Thanks,
Yep.
Kat.
And that's what I want with 7K. So
Yeah. Good
thank
goals.
you.
Yeah.
Excellent question. Excellent goals. I appreciate it. Carla.
Yes, Della, what part? You said you're in Idaho?
Yes,
You're in
Idaho Falls.
What do you, so what do you do besides 7K? What are your hobbies, and do you have another job besides the 7K?
No, I had to quit all my work because of taking care of people because of my health issues. And what I do besides 7K is I finally got my fingers to where they're working again from the arthritis. So I've been able to start doing my crocheting and knitting again. I love it, love it, love it. And I've been doing a lot of reading. And I like to decorate. I like to put different things together to see how they look and everything. And, as soon as I see some green grass, I'm going to be outside in my garden. I love to be out there working in the yard. I sit on the ground and dig in the ground with my hands because I can sit on the ground and do it. And I enjoy that. So during the winter, I'll just do my crocheting and knitting and that stuff. In the summer, I'll be outside in my garden.
That's good.
Excellent question, Carla. Great insight. Okay, Wayne. Or Dave, did I ask you yet? No, Dave Bordenkircher.
No, sorry, I got interrupted by my lovely bride coming in from her study tonight. So I was thinking about this. I'm curious, it sounds like you've got a number of grandchildren. I'm curious what your best piece of advice for your grandkids would be right now.
Start buying gold and silver. Forget about 401ks and all that stuff because you're not going to have them. And they're all, my 2 granddaughters are both married, and both my grandsons, neither one of them met anybody yet that they want to spend time with. So that's okay, but put your money in silver and gold. Forget the 401s and all that stuff.
Excellent. Whoa, you're on it. How about you, Wayne?
Okay. In the Magic of Thinking book, The Magic of Thinking Big, that book that we studied in our morning meetings, he talks about having a vision for your life. I thought of the scripture that says, without a vision, the people perish. And he said we should have a vision of where we want to be 10 years from now.
10 years from now, I don't want to be, I'd prefer not to be in a nursing home because I saw too many people in those places. That's why I took care of them in their own homes. And I just seem to be in my own home, being able to do what I can do. My grandmother was 91 when she had her first stroke. And before that, she was still doing her cooking and baking and everything. And her exercising with Jack Lane. And I would like to be, with 7K, I'd like to get it to where I've got enough to where I can take care of everything I need. And I'll have enough for my family and friends if they need something I can help them out with. And a place for them to live if they lose all of their stuff or whatever. And just be here for my family and friends so that they have a place to come to.
Very good. That's excellent. Excellent.
That's...
Shawn Walker, the last man standing.
Okay, Della, since we're in the book of Atomic Habits, I know you had some medical challenges. What are some habits you have that have changed for you, and what are some new habits that you picked up?
Things have changed for me is taking better care of myself. Yeah. And things I've picked up, being more positive about myself, feeling better about myself. And because growing up with the mother and father, I got harassed an awful lot by kids. So I just kind of, so it took a while to get and being in a situation where alcohol is controlling everything. It kind of takes you down. So I just feel good about myself. And that's the biggest thing is I've started feeling a lot better about myself and saying, hey, you can do this. You can do it. You can do it. There's no reason why you can't. You're just as good as anybody else, so
Man,
just go and do it.
The doer, and that's it. You guys are absolutely amazing. This is a one-time special time, and I appreciate each of you being part of this. It was very well worth it, and thank you so very much. We're going to close this out with just a couple announcements. Thursday night, that's in 2 days, we have Big Al again. It's with Sizzle Sessions, and I will share the link and I'll send you the link if you want to listen to him again. And real quick, new mindset, new results. Make sure to always check the 7ktoday.com. It's the number 7 or spell it out. How can you sell anything or talk about it if you don't know really what it is? And that's what this website is for. Talks about the founders, the coin collections, blogs, you name it. So you do need to get familiar with your product. You are changing the world one person at a time, starting with yourself. Believe in yourself. You are only one defining decision away from a totally different life. That's where we start talking about our atomic habits. And part of the purpose in life is to build a legacy. How do we make people feel? If you want something in life you've never had, you're going to have to do something you've never done. What is that going to be? Absolutely be fearless doing it and learn to be comfortable being uncomfortable. And that's the hot ticket. And yes, you can have it all set. And we're at the Gold Rush. We're at the end of this meeting. Thank you so much. Oh, you guys have a great night. Get lots of rest, especially you, Shawn. And I will be here for you. About our Zooms, I've been working on it. I'm really excited with how I've been putting it together. It's taken me longer, but I will text you on the Zoom times. I don't think I'm going to do 9 o'clock at night because it hasn't been active. And that's time on my part. And so I'm just going to do them 2 and 5. But with that, I appreciate you.
Thank you. Thanks, Kristen.
Start alone and
Thank
maybe
you,
that's
Kristen.
okay. You stumble on and then you find your way.
thank you.
You waited all your life. The future
Thank
is
you,
finally here.
Thank you, Dylan. Thank you for answering the question.
The future is finally
Thank you.
here. Wake up the joy
You guys are
and
too,
feel
all of
it,
you.
feel it.
I'm
You
glad
got
we're all
it
together on this.
inside.
Yes, appreciate it.
And when
I
you
appreciate it.
finally see it, be it now. It's time. Wake up the joy and feel it. You got it all inside. And when you finally see it, be it now. It's time.
All right. I'm going to